Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to define a 0 to 1 roadmap that you can follow in order to become an Android developer from very basics. So first we will talk about what is native development, what is hybrid development, whether to do with Java or Kotlin, whether to do something like Flutter or any other framework. So I will tell you how to think and how to come to a decision. After that I will define a 5-stage path. The first stage will be prerequisite, what you need to know in order to start Android development. In the next stage, we are going to talk about some functionalities. I have divided the functionalities into 3 stages. First is beginner, then advanced, and third is pro. So I'll tell you what you have to do in each stage and what kind of apps you can make with links to the tutorials that you can follow. In the last stage, I will tell you how to become job ready, like how to apply for jobs, internship, freelance projects, and we are going to talk about that in the and the end. We will talk about 20 plus project ideas with the links to where you can see the tutorials and complete those apps. As we all know, there are two types of phone which are used, that is Android based phone which run on Android OS, and there are iPhone which run on iOS. So okay, so for each we need to make different apps. Like for Android there are different app, for iOS there is a different app code that you have to make. So this is what we call native development. When you make same code which runs on all the platform, that is the Android and iOS, that is what we call a hybrid app. So single code base for all platforms, but for native app scenario we need to build and maintain separate app for each platform. Okay, so same development can deliver for all platform in hybrid, but in native we need different teams with different skill set or language which is required. Hybrid apps are built using web technologies like HTML, CSS and JavaScript, whereas native apps built with specific language like Java, Kotlin for Android, and Swift or Objective C for iOS. Okay, so examples of hybrid are Twitter, Gmail, Instagram, Uber. All these apps are made with hybrid technology. Examples of native are Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. Now the question appears, what should you learn? So as a developer, if you are an engineering field, you must definitely go for native development. For hybrid, lot of company hire students from BC or MC or other backgrounds, non-engineering IT degrees. Okay, so it's always preferred if you learn native development. Now the question comes whether you do Java or Kotlin. Java has been there for over 2 decades and it's been used for Android development since 2008, since the beginning of it. But recently Kotlin is a new language launched by Google to be made the default app platform for Android. And as you can see, a lot of companies are adopting it, a lot of companies are planning to adopt it. So in a few years majority of the market will definitely shift to Kotlin. So if you are just a pure beginner and you are thinking to begin, so I think it's makes sense to go with Kotlin, but you can also learn with Java. If you want to learn hybrid, you can also you can follow new framework by Google which is Flutter. Okay, it's a choice that you want to learn, but we recommend you to learn native only. Okay, so let's look at the stages of learning that we are going to follow in this roadmap. Stage 0, I'm going to tell you what are the prerequisites, like you need to know the language, you need to know some IDE in order to start working on Android. Then I have divided all the functionalities into 3 parts, that is beginner, advanced and pro. So beginner, we are going to talk the bare minimum functionalities that you need to know in Android in order to make an app. In advanced, we'll go a bit further and learn some advanced topics and I'll tell you where you can study them. In pro Android, these are the professional libraries and functionalities which are used in companies in actual real world. So you have to get some knowledge about them in order to get a job or internship. In the last stage, we are going to talk how you can get jobs and internships and even how you can get freelance work and you can start making money. Last, we'll discuss some resources for Android and 20 plus project ideas which link to tutorials that you can follow, study from and make your app. So let's start by the prerequisites. You have to learn the basics of a language. You can either learn Java or Kotlin. We have discussed in detail which one you should follow. Learn basic syntax. Kitna seekhna, how much you have to study. You have to learn the basic syntax, key concepts of that language, like how to call a function, how to create a class, object, etc. All those things you have to study. So at max it will take 7 to 10 days. Okay. For Java, you can refer Code with Harry. This is a playlist link that you will find in the PDF. You can find this PDF in the description of the video as well. So you have to just go there, watch every video from start, do all the assignments that they are telling. Okay, So watch up to, it's 100 video. You don't have to watch all of them, just watch some introductory videos that cover all the basics. You can also follow Telesco channel, so you have a choice between Code with Harry or Telesco or any other channel you like to follow. For Kotlin, you can refer to Cheesy Code. So Kotlin resources are not that easily available, and you have to find a lot of channels, which one is good, which one is not. You can just take my recommendation and study from it. There are 41 videos, and I think these are more than sufficient to learn basic Kotlin. So another tutorial is in English. This was in Hindi and this is in English. So you can study from here as well. 64 videos are there. So you have to just follow, watch every video, do all the assignments that they give you to do. Okay. So watch complete places. Start setting up local IDE for development. Like Java, you can start from Netscape, Eclipse or NetBeans, and for Kotlin you can go for directly Android Studio. Okay, so also set up your local IDE. Android Studio is the most preferred IDE to work on Android. So set up that, install all the requirements for it. Do all activities on your own in the video. Okay, so brush up your googling skills, ability to fix bugs on your own. So you have to do a lot of bug fixing in Android, and you won't get any mentorship. You have to study on your own, so you have to fix all your issues on your own as well. So these are the prerequisites that you need to know. You can learn Android development in either Java or Kotlin, it's your choice, but Kotlin is becoming very popular and rapidly adopted by many companies. In a few years, you will see almost every company will be developing Android apps only on Kotlin. So the smart thing would be to learn in Kotlin. So in this stage, beginner functionality, you have to first understand how Android works. Like what are the fundamentals? Let's say you can watch this video. This is an explanation of how Android works via Google only. So you can get an idea, 27-minute video, how it works, how its kernel works, how its OS
to be
works.
more precise,
Okay?
we have
so
app
you can
compact level.
just watch this video, or you can watch other videos as well. Then set up your Android Studio, basic functioning. You can watch this video. It will tell you everything in detail that you need to know. Okay. And yeah, so in this video you can watch the tutorial. There are many tutorials you can find and understand how to set up Android Studio and how to work on it from a basic level. Next, you have to learn basic topics like activity. What are activity? What is fragments? What is activity lifecycle? What are shared preferences, bundles, intent, Android manifest, and all these things that you need at a very fundamental level. Understand basic layout design like using edit text, text view, button, linear layout, relative layout, etc. As you know, the design part happens in XML, so you have to study XML as well, apart from whether Java or Kotlin. For learning, where you can learn from this playlist, Android Developer, if you are learning for Java, and another playlist of Telesco that you can follow if you are learning from Java, Smart Herd for Kotlin, and Code Android as well. Let me explain you each playlist. So for Java, you can refer this playlist and you can follow each video from the start, first, second, third, fourth, fifth video, and there you can get a lot of idea about different topics here. And similarly for different playlists you can follow. Okay, you can get the link in this PDF. Okay, next step is to make at least 2 basic apps. Like you just can't end up watching a video endlessly on YouTube. You need to actually implement those knowledge and create an application. Android is all about practical, so make sure you make at least 2 basic apps like user login, to-do list, or a college info application. You will find tutorials related to it very easily on YouTube, and we are also going to discuss a lot of apps in our project ideas session in the video forward. Okay, in this we have discussed all the basic functionalities that you need to know in order to begin Android development. So make sure you learn all these theoretical concepts. Make at least 2 apps that's mentioned, like student login, college info, or any other app you like to make, and make sure you learn the end-to-end process of how to make a app. So before going to next step, let me tell you, a lot of students skip Android development at this stage. They learn all these basic things, make a few apps, and they think they know Android. But this is not Android. You have to go to the advanced level. You have to learn the advanced features and even beyond. Okay. In stage 2, we are going to talk about some advanced functionality that you need to know. You need to learn some next level topics like local storage. SQLite is used to store data. It's not used directly, but it's currently used along with room wrappers. Okay, so you have to study room as well, but room is covered in the next stage. Okay, so you have to study how to create notification. There are lots of categories in it, how to raise them, how to create the broadcast receivers and other things, loading data from server and display it using adapter. It's also very important. So for any functionality, you will be loading data from internet from some backend API and displaying it in the form of with the help of adapters. So you have to also learn. So in Android, lots of app interact with lots of other apps like camera, like SMS app, or anything, any storage or drive or anything. So you have to interact with lots of apps. So you have to learn how to interact with gallery, taking photo or saving photo back to it, external storage where you store all the larger files like 10 MB, 100 MB files. So you have to learn as well how to read OTP. Okay, you have to take permissions and everything, how to call them, what are the syntax to call it, camera maps. Okay, so all these things you have to study. Apart from that, you can also work on mobile sensors like GPS is there. There are lots of other accelerometer, gynometer, so you can study them also and how to use them. So that's a vast field. Android is a very fast field. So in advanced topic, there are a lot of things. I've just mentioned some bare minimum that you can study and start your Android journey with. Apart from that, you can study anything you like and you can implement in your Android application. For the layout part, for the designing part, you have to learn coordinator layout, constraint layout, spinners, loaders, recycler view, and everything else that you need in order to make a so there is also a card view which with the help with you can make boundaries round of an image. So study card view as well. So you will see in all the apps all the images are rounded, but the image view is square only. So card view is also very important. Study about it. Make one or two, at least two complex app like photo sharing, e-commerce, note sharing, chat messenger, calendar, linked. Okay, so all this app you can make. We are going to talk about project ideas in the project ideas session. Okay, so there is no limit for advanced idea. It will take you a lot of time. You can study from some YouTube channel, or you can just Google the name. Like if you want to study local storage in Android tutorial. Okay, so you will go to the official Android developer account. Okay, it's developer.android. So it's a really good explanation. Okay, when you come to this stage from beginner to advanced, you have to start learn by reading also, not just videos is not sufficient enough. You have to learn, create a habit of reading as well. So start referring to books or tutorials like this. So developer.android.com is a perfect resource to study Android from. You will find every topic that I have mentioned under different categories here, and you can start study from it. Says important thing, you have to study background threads and how intent service you can create. So that's also very important. You have to study here background and foreground service. So a lot of functionalities happen while you are opening the app, and a lot of functionalities happen in the back that you are not aware about. The user is not viewing it, but a lot of things are happening. So you have to study. So this is the perfect guide that you can follow. You can also study basic things. What is a manifest file and Android app manifest that I asked you to study in the beginner section. You can study all those things from here or some video that you can find online. Okay. Some of the advanced functionality that you need to know I have mentioned in the slide, but there is still a lot of things that you need to learn. So you can go and explore and learn those things as well, and make sure you make at least two complex app in this stage, and then only move on to the next stage, that is the pro functionalities. So far we have discussed lots of beginner as well as advanced functionality. So these functionality is enough for to make any feature, or this knowledge is enough to for you to make any feature or any functionality. But what happens, companies don't use these detailed coding or like direct functionalities. They rather use some abstractions, some libraries which hide all the complexities. So there are many libraries which are available for Android which are public, free forever, but I will list some 10 most commonly used libraries that you need to know in order to work in any professional company. Okay, so first is Glide or Picasso. In order to show images, crop, or you can control the size, the function, the size, etc., image, everything. So you need some library. So Picasso and Glide are the most used, so you learn both of them. It's very simple. You have to just import the library in your Android dependencies, then you have to just access by calling the file name as you do in Java and Kotlin. So Glide or Picasso is images, you can use any of them. The syntax is almost same for both of it. Okay, images, for in order to play music or videos, you use Exoplayer. So learn how to integrate in any of your app. When you are using any data, loading any data from database from some URL, that's where we use HTTP client, which is retrofit or retrofit 2, which is in use now. So you definitely learn about it. You need to know how to create a request, how to send it across, and how to get a response. So Volley is also used. You can also study Volley, but retrofit 2 is most commonly used. Next is Dagger 2. So there is a concept of dependency injection. If I tell you in brief, it's like you don't have to create object again and again, like new object, new object, new object of this class. So you define an object for an application level, and you inject that object or use that object whenever you need it. So that's a simple definition, but it's a very important and relevant concept that you are going to see, because when you look at the code of app of any good company, you will not able to understand what's happening. Like a lot of code is written, a lot of functionality is done, because they use these kind of library, these kind of advanced libraries. So if you want to work with them, you have to learn this. Next is butter knife. It's like view binding. It's binds the variable name with the view. Like for example, you are making some text view, so you create like text view 1, and you equals to assign it to the id which is mentioned in your XML file. So you can use this at the rate annotations of butter knife in order to link it directly without using the id line. Okay, Room is an abstraction layer for creating databases. It create your table into in form of classes like normal names, pojos. Okay, so you create pojos with the help of Room, which is very important. It is provided by Google itself, so it's a very famous library and used in almost all modern applications. Some more that you can follow: Moshi is a very common library for JSON related working. If you want to do some manipulation of JSON, so Moshi is preferred. Reactive components, if you know about React, is like you don't have to change the whole page or while change the some component. Let's say you are using Koo app, which is getting very famous. So there is, in a feed you will see there is a text and some Koo has been made. So you see lots of comments, 12 comments, 13 recus, 14 likes. So they keep on changing very fast. So what happens, they don't change the whole layout, they just change that simple component. So that is functionality is called React or reactive. In Android you can use implement those functionalities in your app using RX Java 2. It's not just Java limited, but it can also be integrated with Kotlin. So it's very important, the components of it, observables and etc. You can study about it. Next, you will have to make a lot of graphs, pie charts, histograms, bar graphs. Okay, so in order to do that, there is a very famous library, MP Android Chart. Almost every app uses it. You can customize it and you can do a lot of things around it. So calligraphy is another library if you want to play with different fonts. Make at least 2 advanced app using all those libraries. So usually what students do, they take a common app like LinkedIn, Zomato, Instagram, Zoom, or any other Twitter, etc., and you just clone it, make a replica of it, and make all the features of it end to end. Okay, so you can make any such app. We are going to discuss more app ideas in the project ideas session in the next part, in the upcoming parts of this video. There are hundreds of libraries that different companies use on the basis of their functionalities, their requirement. They also create their own libraries, but in this I have described at least 10 top 10 most used libraries that will be used in almost every company. So make sure you definitely learn this, how to implement them, make some demo functionalities in your existing apps or a new project. Okay, so that you get how to work with them. Next, you have to make at least two apps in this section that I have mentioned, some ideas, some categories that you can follow. And for more, you can get to check the project ideas session in this video and get an idea of what more apps you can make. Stage 4, getting ready how to get a job. Okay, so whenever you apply for any opening, you will see they have written in a requirement that you have at least one or two live applications on Google Play Store. So it is very important that you need to know how to host your app and how to manage the Play Store listing. To make sure you host 2 3 apps. You have already made 6 apps for now for beginner, advanced and pro sections stages. Now you are hosting some of them on Google Play Store, so they charge you a one time fee of around 1500. Okay, so you can host as many apps you want. Okay, so learn how to host and manage app on Google Play Store. Host 2 3 apps or all of them you have. Okay, next, you can make a professional app, like create an app for some client. You create from some uncle who have some shop, so you can create an application for them, or some professional work as well, like you are getting paid. Okay, some small amount, 1000 2000 3000, it's fine, because you want to just learn. It will help you to get some insights on how to make user centric apps, like you created a button, its size is very small, nobody is able to click, or you created a button and added a text, so they get cluttered and you are not able to click the button. So these things you will get to know only when some user is using your app. So getting this professional view is very important. So make sure you create an app for some other person. Further, share app among your friends, take feedback from them. And also, when you host app on your Play Store and you give a link for any interview or any company, it's always advantageous if you have some good downloads on it. Like you can easily get at least 400 500 downloads to it. So if it gets into that category, it will always look good and have a good impression. So make sure you can get as many downloads as possible. Next, host your apps on GitHub with proper readme screenshot and upgrade your code. You will say, sir, I have hosted on Play Store, then why should I put it on GitHub as well? So a lot of times company want to see the quality of your code. The quality, like how good code is yours, like how much knowledgeable you are about Android. Like, so there's a lot of you can see from the code itself like how good the developer is. So you can just host all your code on GitHub, because most of your code is only basic apps only, so there is nothing uh, proprietary about it that somebody can copy. So you can definitely share on GitHub, write proper readme, add proper screenshot of your app and share the code with proper comments, so that people can see the quality of your code. Next step is to start applying for internship and freelance opportunity. Internship, you can apply Internshala, Angel.co and LinkedIn. You can also approach some directors or some managers of some common companies, because Android is something like they will hire if you are a good guy, even if they don't have some openings, because they always need an extra hand, or if they get at a cheaper rate of 5000 and 10,000, so it's not an issue. Freelance opportunities, you will get a lot of opportunities like that. I create an app for us, will give you 10,000 20,000. So you have to negotiate how much you are able to get it. So there are lots of platform and lots of personal collection that you have to leverage. So these are the certain steps that you can follow to get a job. The only key is to be persistent, keep trying. 4 5 times, 7 times companies you have to apply. Okay, then only you will get. And if you have created at least 6 app in the beginner, advanced and pro state, so getting a internship or an opportunity will be very much easy. Resources you can follow for Java, Kotlin. If you want to learn Android in Java and Kotlin, must do libraries. These are the link to the official GitHub accounts or websites, wherever you can go and learn more about them. This is a link where you can create for icons for an Android app. If you are creating, you have to create the launcher icon and etc. You can also read the documentation that I told you, developer.android.com. You will find a lot of training material there in order to learn Android, and you can refer to it. It's very well written, and almost all Android developer refer to it. Now talk about some of the project ideas. I've divided into 2 stages: beginner level stage 1 and advanced level stage 2. So for stage 1, you can make some simple application like tic-tac-toe. So all of this project have a YouTube link where you can go and watch the tutorial and learn how to make that app in real. Okay, so just watch the video and follow each step as taught by them. Okay, so apart from tic-tac-toe, you can also make One second. Apart from tic-tac-toe, you can also make music player, covid tracking app, like how many cases are coming, etc. You can create a fitness app, a user logging app, file sharing, trip booking app, codes app, news app, calculator. So all of them are linked to the tutorial on YouTube. So there are lots of apps that you can learn. Okay, so just make sure go watch the tutorial and follow the steps as taught in that video. So these are the basics app that you can make, or you can also make any other app which comes to your mind. Okay. For stage 2, you can create a food app. You can also create a college app with admin link. So this tutorial has like around 20 videos. So every details depth is given. So it's a complex application that you can follow. Next, you can make a WhatsApp clone. You can make an online grocery app. You can make an Instagram clone. You can make a movie streaming app clone, Nike store, etc. So all these projects you can make. Apart from this, you will find many other tutorials on YouTube. You can open to explore them and choose which is good for you. If you think these are the common ideas, you can also make something out of the box if you have any ideas about it. Next point, to keep thinking like how to which project idea to take. So you have to keep in mind these are relevant app which have utility for you. Like only make something which is useful for you, then only you can just think about how good the app is and what kind of functionality you can add to it. Next point is you have to make sure you have to integrate lots of APIs in your Android application. Like if you want to send OTPs, if you want to integrate Google Map, if you want payment gateways, so all these things. So make sure you try some of them, try some of those in your apps so that you get an idea how to work with APIs. I hope I have covered all the information that is needed in order to become an Android developer. I have given all the topics that you need to learn in a stage-wise category, and all the links, the YouTube channels that you can follow to study from. Apart from that, I have also given links to all the tutorials that you can follow and make. So only thing left for you to execute, to study and practice. Doing Android development is not that easy. If you have come this far in this video, so it tells you are serious about Android. So be patient, be persistent, and learn all the topics, implement them, and try again and again at multiple places to get internships. You will definitely get. There are lots of internships in Android, and there is a huge scope in mobile development. So I wish you all the best.